Happy New Year, guys! We are live from Kiev, Ukraine, and I'm sitting with William. Hello, William.
Joe.
Happy New Year. So, guys, William so boldly offered to be a victim, subject to your guys' questions. But seriously, a lot of you guys have questions. What is it like actually to come to Ukraine and find your half? And what's fantastic about William is that he was one of those, rare, really, men of action that just get her done. I mean, you came here, 5 weeks ago?
5 weeks.
You met your lady and she invited you back for the holidays, right?
Right, and her father's 60th birthday.
Very cool. All fantastic signs. So, guys, what we want to offer you is to ask either myself or William from Florida any questions. We always say no taboo questions, and that definitely applies here. So we're going to actually give priority to questions that you guys email us because we can read longer questions. So go ahead and email us right now at info@matchguaranty.com with your questions, or put them in the chat box and we will answer your questions. Meanwhile, we have a few pre-selected questions to ask William. So to get the road on the show, William, to cut to the chase, guys are always nervous out there about, like, how do I find a good girl? And then how do I know when I've got a good girl? So the question is, when you met your lady 5 weeks ago, how did you know she was a good girl? How did you choose? And how do you now on the second trip to see her? How do you know she's a good girl, not a gold digger or an opportunist?
It's pretty easy to tell, actually. I was talking to one and she said, right from the beginning, I said, "What do you like to do?" I like to go to spas, get my nails done, get my hair done. So right there is a red flag,
Mm-hmm.
But my girl now, I've never asked for anything like that. She even offers to pay for a lot of things herself, and it's really easy to tell if you just use a little bit of common sense.
A little bit of common sense.
Yeah.
So, you mentioned that you dated one of our ladies and she started talking about spas, and is this the very beautiful one I'm thinking of?
Yes, it is.
Yeah, the 9.5 to 10 lady. And, that bodes into a great second question. How did you choose? I mean, this girl we're both thinking of, you showed me your photo together. I mean, she's could be on the cover of any magazine. And she started asking about spa treatments and kind of this sort of thing, which gave you a bad taste, yeah?
It did.
Mm-hmm. So how did you choose your lady that you're with now over this total model, gorgeous model? Not that your lady, she's amazing too.
It was actually easy. Mm-hmm. We had such chemistry when we went out. And I even asked you for advice, your free coaching, about what she said to spas and nails, and even you warned me, like, hey, that's going to be an expensive one.
Are you sure you can afford her?
Yeah. But it was easy to tell, just the chemistry that we had and how we got along, and she speaks great English, so it was a good conversation. And at the end of the night, I was like, wow, I've never met anybody like that back in the States with that kind of personality.
Mm-hmm.
And with the beauty that goes along with it.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. So you chose based on, let's drill down at that a little bit. How did you choose? And when did you meet your lady? On which date? Date number one. Date number one, I know.
The day I got here.
Home run hitter. I know. It's amazing the day you landed. Yeah. So see, guys, anything is possible. We do unlimited dating, but William met her on the first date.
I did.
Mm-hmm. So again, you had some dates, though. How did you choose her? On what criteria? I mean, help guys, because that's a very important point, how to choose wisely. Vita just did a live stream on Saturday, how to choose the best wife.
Well, it depends on what everybody's looking for. You can come here and marry the supermodel, but you might not have
a super life.
Yeah. I chose to have the all-around package rather than just one superficial, looks, because looks don't last forever.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
you got to get along with the person after, and
yeah,
that's what I was really looking for and found.
Very cool. Very cool. Okay, we got the questions pouring in. Let's take some of the questions now. How many women did you meet before you found the right one? Well, she was date number one, right?
She was the first date, and I think I met, what, 6?
Mm-hmm.
And I really wasn't, they were all really nice, but none of them compared to the first one I met. So,
Yeah.
but I think it was 6 in total.
And how did that, did that comparison of different types of ladies and, did that help you choose your lady?
It did. There's a lot of different types of women. There's the ones that want to go to the spa, and there's the ones that want to look for work in the States, and then there's the ones that want to stay home and do the cooking. And I met all those in the six that I met.
Mm-hmm.
So there's a lot of different things to choose from when you meet them.
Mm-hmm. And you had a bit of a age different sampling too, from larger age gap and then smaller age gap too, which was
I'm 42, and the youngest one was 33. So I kept it. I wanted to stay within 10 years, realistically, because anything younger than that, it's kind of, wants to do the partying thing still, and
yeah, you kept it real, which is fantastic. So we have another question here. Did you go on any other tours or socials before finding your lady through Match Guarantee?
No, the only thing I did was I did the pay per letter, what you call it. That's the only thing I did. Those tours, I read about them, and it just sounded something that I really wasn't.
Just had to wipe the lens there.
It just sounded like something I really didn't interest me.
Yeah, you're one of the exceptionally smart guys out there that didn't fall into the traps.
That sounds like back home. You could try to go out and meet people at a party. So I could do that. Try to do that at home. I'd rather meet a person one on one. That once you send them a letter, they want to meet you too.
So Juan is asking, let's see your new bride. I don't know if you want to show a photo. Totally up to you.
My phone's over there.
You want it? We can grab it. But totally up to you.
I don't mind.
Okay. Okay, William will be right back. He's going to show us a photo of his new. She's not a bride yet, but well, that's a good question. Thanks for the tip on that. Somebody's asking your criteria. So your criteria for your match. How's her English?
Oh, her English is fluent. She speaks. You couldn't even tell she's from here most of the time.
What's the age range? Okay, you already answered that one. Instagram, obviously.
Yeah.
Cool. Do you have a photo together?
I got one with her sister also. That was
maybe closer.
That was from her dad's birthday the other night.
Nice. Very nice. You guys look happy. So, how did you choose? What about Ukrainian women's jealous behavior? Is she jealous? Is she showing any jealous behavior?
She hasn't. But if remember me telling you that one,
oh yeah,
that one that saw me, I had 2 dates in one night, and the one saw me with the first date, and she didn't like that very much. And she, first question she asked is if I met any other women here. And I told her, yeah, I have. So she was okay with that answer, telling her the truth.
So we have a risque question here, because we did say no taboo questions. How direct are they regarding money and sex? Are they willing to at least do some type of work? Or it depends on the woman. That's another question. Work, I guess that's not related to so money and sex. I don't know, whatever you want to comment there, William.
As far as being direct with sex, it's not like hey, let's do this or this. It just comes like a naturally kind of thing. And The same. Well, I don't know about other situations, but the money thing is it actually hasn't come up at all.
Well, you were just telling me though, she
She
insists on paying you today, right?
Today and other times for we've gone out for breakfast, and she says, "No, you pay all the time. Here, I'll pay for this one."
Mm-hmm. It's fairly atypical, though. I would say fairly atypical. Let me bounce a question off you. Are Ukrainian women poor and desperate, in your opinion?
No, actually, they make jobs in America more money than people do in America.
You're a lady, right?
Right.
Yeah, she makes a very good income, I will say, even on American standards.
Yeah.
She's in what line of work again?
Logistics.
Logistics
with an international company.
So, I mean, that's it's a myth that Ukrainian women are poor and desperate. That they'll just latch on to any man to get a green card, so go back to America.
No, the 6 that I met, none of them are like that. They all ask, where can I get a job? What can I do for work when I get there? I don't want to sit around the house. That kind of thing. So
important litmus test. Yeah, for sure. Wow, the questions are piling up. Okay. So money, yeah, we covered that. Sex, yeah. So basically about sex. It's an important topic because, guys that are scammed, one of the telltale signs is that, they're not getting any nookie. I mean, of any sorts. I mean, they're not getting any affection. They're not getting hand-holding. They're not, So maybe how did this progress for you? Did she have signs of affection pretty early on, like first date, second date? Like, can you give us?
It was pretty much right away. We went to dinner and we went to a jazz club, and at the jazz club, she sat next to me and I had my arm around her and she put her head on my shoulder and we held hands the rest of the night, and it just went progressed from there. And she's really affectionate, always want to hold hands in public and do that kind of thing.
So, guys, this is a classic example of a woman that's into him. You can tell. It's now, in all fairness, some Ukrainian ladies are really slow, and they're not gonna hold hands on the first date, and they're not gonna, they're a bit offish, they're nervous to meet you. But this is just a classic example of a great connection, right?
Right. You say the nervous. There was actually one. She didn't speak English. It was the one that we had a translator, and she was so nervous. You could see her hand shaking when she was eating. That's how nervous she was.
Well, what do you want? You look like Richard Gere, man. Doesn't he look
That's
like
why
Richard
I got one of my autographs. Richard Gere. I said, what are you talking about?
So you make the girls nervous. Hey, I was going to ask you that. How did you feel when you were here? Like, we talked about this when you were first here. Back home when you're dating and your level of opportunity versus here and meeting multiple beautiful women and them all basically wanting you. How did it make you feel?
It makes you feel like you're like I'm good looking myself.
And like, you don't feel like that way back home, or what's the contrast?
Well, no, because the girls here are model caliber versus the ones back home are I don't want to say.
Somebody's asking how to sign up for our service, so I will take this reclam a moment. I mean, with Match Guarantee, you can meet 10 ladies for free, which is how you started, right?
Right.
Free introduction services. You got to send 2 emails back and forth,
right?
Before you paid any money out of pocket or anything.
Right.
And then you got to have 1 Skype video call. How was your free Skype video call? Who was it with?
It was with Anna.
Okay. Another lady, not the lady you chose. And maybe since this guy's asking this question that emailed in, Van, how did that help you with your decision-making process?
I can give one piece of advice for that.
Okay.
Pick one that speaks English.
Okay.
Because she didn't speak English, and it was she was staring at me and I was staring at her.
On the Skype.
On the Skype.
But you had a translator though, right?
Yeah, we had a translator.
But it was just awkward.
It was really, she didn't know what to say and I didn't know what to say. So I was recommend, if I could do it again, get somebody that speaks really good English
On the free Skype call.
on the Skype.
And about English, of the 6 ladies that you dated, how was their English level? All of them.
Some didn't speak English at all, and it was fine. We had the translator you provided, and the one we went out after and the next day, and we used the Google Translate the whole time, and it was fine. We had no problems at all. So that wasn't really an issue.
Okay, good. So, okay, great. Happy New Year. Thanks very much. Happy New Year to you guys too. 2020, can you believe it? Start of a new decade. Incredible. He's asking, how do you so to get into match guarantee type questions, how do you meet ladies? Do we propose? So you guys just choose the ladies. Most guys, fall in love with the picture. They fall in love with the beauty of the lady, and they want to meet based on that. We also do recommend to you. I mean, Tatiana, my partner, our lead matchmaker, she will recommend to you her personal choices because she knows our ladies. Did she recommend for you any personal choices, Tatiana?
No, she didn't have to.
No, yeah, she didn't have to. So we really strongly recommend that you do go with Tatiana's recommendations. Just meet them. It doesn't hurt. A cup of coffee or lunch or whatever. Because we have marriages that have resulted when guys said, no, I don't like your photo. I'm not interested in her at all. And they ended up getting married.
I do got to mention that I think all the ones that I met were better looking in person than they were in their photo. Okay.
That's good feedback. I mean, that is one of our guarantees, that it's a no Photoshop guarantee. I mean, we always, even though they're not Photoshop, professional photographers in Ukraine are the best, I think, in the world. I mean, they can capture the best side of that lady. So if the photos on her portfolio, like on her online portfolio, we feel are not exactly representative how she looks in real life, we ask her to send us like a selfie or something from her iPhone. So we try to show you her best and normal. So let's see. Do Ukrainian women like men who are straightforward with their intentions, or do they prefer a cautious step-by-step approach? Kiss on the 3rd date. What do you think there, William?
Our 2nd date was long, so I considered that a 3rd date, since it was went till about 2 a.m. But there's really no time limit. I don't think you just feel it. I wouldn't say a time limit, but 2nd or 3rd date.
Do these women have a good sense of humor?
Incredibly.
Incredibly good.
She, my girl, she would say things that are like, we would bust out laughing, like till our faces turn red. Just some things she'll say on a GIF or something through Viber, or because I heard, I told you, they don't have sense of humor, and I was like, yeah, they do. Everyone I met was like, laughing at the dumb things I say. So,
yeah, it's a good question, guys. I mean, I did a spoof video. It's kind of a 50-50 spoof video called 10 Reasons You Never Want to Marry a Beautiful Ukrainian Woman, which kind of went viral on YouTube. I said in that Ukrainian women don't have a sense of humor. It was so funny because there was a Ukrainian lady across the table that was laughing at Stryker and I, who I did that video with. Yeah. And she says, oh, I disagree with you. We have a sense of humor. I mean, a lot of them have a sense of humor, and but a lot of them are on the dry side for our culture. But your lady has a sense of humor, and a lot of them do. So every woman's different, right? In all countries. You're not marrying, the average woman in a country. It's a specific woman, your specific lady. So I asked about good girl. How did you know she was a good girl? That's important. Are Ukrainian women as good as they're portrayed online, like beautiful, traditional, great high family values?
I would have to say yes. They're very, what's the word, loyal.
Mm-hmm.
And once you're with one, you're like, it's all about you.
Mm-hmm.
They you're their family, and they're her mom and dad like act like I'm their family also.
Mm-hmm. That's a good question. I mean, she invited you to meet the parents on your second trip. That is so rare, guys. That is like next door to, sealing the deal to getting married. In fact, in the villages or the smaller communities in Ukraine, you guys need to know a woman can often hold off. Oops, I knew that was going to happen. Ladies can hold off on introducing you to the parents until just before the wedding.
I heard that.
Yeah. Again, that's more the country or the village lady, not in Kiev, not so much so. How was it to meet the parents? Were you nervous?
It was. I was nervous, but nobody spoke English, so
which makes you a little.
Everybody was going back and forth, and I hear my name every once in a while, but nobody would tell me what they're saying. So, but it was fun. Everybody was impressed with how much I ate.
I think you said you put on 10 pounds or something.
Yeah, since I've been
over
here.
The holidays. Very typically Ukrainian. I mean, do they put on a spread or what?
Oh yeah, when
a whole table's full of food, right?
We went to just her parents' house. The New Year's Eve was her more of her family. It was her sister, her husband, both parents from him, and a grandmother was there.
Mm-hmm.
But the day after, we went to her parents' house, and it was just the four of us. And I thought we were just going to have her mom was just going to make some borscht, because I told her I wanted to try some homemade. And man, she brought out chicken and borscht and cookies, and I was like, you didn't have to do all this just for us. I mean, this is way too much.
They're very hospitable, aren't they?
Yeah.
I mean, we're not used to this back home.
Do you need anything? She couldn't speak English, but she pointed and put it on my plate for me. And
eat more.
I'm like, I can't. I don't need my belt anymore.
I'm busting at the seams. Guys asking, how long is ideal to come here dating ladies? So how long did you come for? Let's analyze your experience. 10 days?
I was here. No, it was only about a week.
A week.
But it was not long enough. Especially meeting 6 women in that amount of time. You want to leave time for second dates.
Yeah, you did incredibly well, I must say, like incredibly well. A week is too short, guys. It really is. You'll find you're in sensory overload. Hey,
And,
were you feeling like overloaded, like overwhelmed?
Yeah, and I had to turn down a couple that I was scheduled to meet, and I showed you the one picture. I'm like, it's like, you're turning this girl down to go out with.
You're burning your bridge, because when you cancel on a lady here,
I was like, yeah, because she's not going to top the one I want to go out again with. So you're like, yeah, okay.
I mean, William, you really did choose well. Like, you chose quickly, and then you focused, which is the best way, guys. I mean, just go on one date, decide if she's potentially the one or not, and then another date, second date, third date, fourth date. And I always coach guys, wait for the wow. Like, when you met your lady, like, describe the feeling.
The wow was there.
The wow was there.
When I got back to the hotel, I texted my friend back at home, and I'm like, dude, I don't know what just happened. I've never experienced that ever. But to that guy's question, I would recommend at least 2 weeks staying here. Yeah, it's not expensive at all, like I thought it would be. You can get Joe has apartments, or they'll give you a hotel to recommend. Yeah, the apartments are quite cheap, right? Very.
$40 a night kind of thing for a nice 3-star right in the Maidan Central area, and it's fairly cheap to live here. So the main expense is getting here, and of course our fee.
Right.
So speaking of our fee, got a question here. So I mean, at the end of the day, what do you think, William? Was it worth the investment? Our big honking fee?
Well, of course. When you look at, it's not that expensive when you're investing in yourself. You can go on a VIP vacation for pretty much the same price, and that's over in 2 weeks versus you come here and you find a great wife it's going to last you a lifetime of happiness. So that makes the answer kind of easy for that one.
Mm-hmm. I guess, are you worth the investment is the question, right?
Yeah.
Your future
You
happiness.
worth eight Joe's fee.
Mm-hmm.
Of course.
Yeah. So thanks for that. Because guys, every guy has a choice of how to pursue this journey. I mean, there are a lot of agencies in Ukraine. Some guys are writing me questions, which I really don't want to get into the dark side of things. I want to keep this the positive light. So I'm kind of choosing, no taboo questions, but we do a free scammer check service, guys. I think you probably know about that. One of my partners owns one of the largest databases of known scammers in Ukraine and Russia. These guys need to know most of the scammers are the agencies, not the lady. You're being scammed by the agency, by the translator at the agency. So anyway, we offer a free scammer check service, which starts just by registering at matchguaranty.com/register. You just register and you tell us your love story. And we do it one-on-one with you on Skype video, listen to it. And so enough said with that. Okay, what else do we got going on here in the question roster here? Are you planning on any vacations with your lady? Gary is asking.
She wants to come to the U.S. and visit me, but she is very well traveled on her own.
Mm-hmm.
So going on vacations like no big deal with her. She's already been everywhere. So.
So yeah, you were saying she wants to come and visit you next,
right?
Yeah, which is very normal, guys. If a woman is serious about you, she wants to come and check out how you live, and she wants to feel what's her future life gonna look like. Ladies, almost always, I'd say 95+% of the time, she wants to come and see you and experience this before she accepts your marriage proposal. So, speaking of that. Any comments?
No comments yet.
No comments. Okay. Sorry to put the pressure on there. Okay. Yeah, you're already moving very fast. You met the parents on the second trip. We are in Kiev right now. Somebody's asking, not in Sumy. Okay, somebody's asking, how much was the fee?
Total fee? 8,000.
8,000. So, and guys, there are some other options in Ukraine of honest agencies, okay? And they work different ways, but fees of honest agencies, you're looking at, there's another agency, not to mention names, but they're 8,000 to 13,000 for similar, one-on-one matchmaking. They're not unlimited, and they certainly don't include a lifetime match guarantee where they will offer to work with you unlimited dates, unlimited coaching, because that's critically important until you get married. So with us, you do get the lifetime match guarantee, and other agencies, 8,000 to 13,000. So let's see here. We have some questions from Indian guys. How did the in-laws potentially welcome you? How did your girl feel, introducing you to the potential future in-laws?
Well, they were.
Were you nervous? We sort of already talked about that.
Yeah, they welcomed me like I was, already part of the family.
Which is very typical, guys. Okay. It's a kind of a big topic. So there is actually a lot of prejudice against foreigners marrying a Ukrainian woman. It's frowned upon in this culture, because you're kind of, as a woman, betraying your country. I don't know if you know that yet, but my point is, the parents are opening, the doors and welcoming you with open arms. Why? Because they see you make their daughter happy.
Right. And believe me, you're under a microscope at their house.
So they're overlooking, and they understand all the neighbors and the relatives and stuff like this. They're going to prejudice your lady for marrying a foreigner. But they're looking and they're weighing the pros and the cons, or the pluses and the minuses, as they put it here. So you guys need to be aware of that. Okay. Um, how long ago did you meet your lady?
It was November,
Uh-huh.
Thanksgiving week.
Yeah, 5 weeks ago. Which city is your lady from?
She's originally from Kharkiv,
Mm-hmm.
but she lives here in Kiev now.
Mm-hmm.
And the thing with I got lucky because with the traveling part and taking the moving out of the country with it's looked down upon. She's lived in other countries before for work, so it's her moving out of the country is kind of normal for her family. Her sister actually tried to find some program where she went to work in New York City for a while. So I got lucky there. So it's kind of not really looked down on with her family. It's kind of the normal, her leaving out of the country.
Well, that's a plus. I mean, a lot of the parents are freaked out because they're worried you're going to steal their daughter and take her to your country, and they're never going to see her again. I mean, that is a fear factor of the parents for sure. Future in-laws. Let me ask you, why? Guys, at the end of the day, they have the resources of the internet. Everything's online these days to choose how are they going to come to Ukraine and meet a lady. Why, if you can help guys out, getting a question here, why did you choose Match Guarantee? Like, what homework did you do? And did you check out other agencies? And why did you choose Match Guarantee? We're being asked.
You want the real reason? You know the real reason.
I don't actually.
The spelling.
Spelling?
How you spell guarantee wrong.
Oh yeah. It's spelled with the because that website wasn't available.
So I was looking at ways that these websites scam people, and I came across your website, and I was looking at it. I said, "Guarantee, that's even spelled wrong." I was like, "That's definitely a scam website." And so then I don't remember how, but I came across your videos I think I typed your name in, and all your videos came up on YouTube. So, and I started watching your videos, and I came to the conclusion that, man, this guy Joe seems like he really wants to put people together and to meet. And so that's how I came across your company.
These guys can't even spell. So you started watching the YouTube videos,
right?
And then you became a believer after.
Then you have the soul profiles on there, and those are good to watch also.
Yeah, guys, what do you think about the soul profiles? That is our huge initiative moving forward. I mean, as Match Guarantee develops, we have a big, hairy, audacious goal, and that is to have the highest marriage success rate in the industry, and to keep increasing that every year. So the soul profile is answering ladies on video camera 10 very psychology-based questions that the goal is, and we've had clients already comment that after watching a soul profile video, they feel like they've been on at least 2 dates with the ladies. Any comments? Like, how well do you feel you know her? Like, one of the questions is, are you close with your mother? Are you close with your father?
Right. It's pretty personal questions, and a lot of them don't know what to answer there because they're kind of taken off guard. So, but you learn a lot from them, and the emails you get, back and forth from you guys. You learn a lot. You learn a lot about them.
Yeah, the idea is we want guys to be able to choose not just from the beautiful photo. We want you guys to feel a little glimpse of her soul light, because truly the best matchmaking in 2020 has got to be something better than they did 25 years ago when this industry began, which is a catalog looking at photos. It's not much better today. I mean, you're just looking at the catalog of beautiful photos online instead of in the book.
Something else about your reputation here. My girl has. I asked her, well, how'd you find Joe's company? And because there's so many over here. She said, oh, I had a friend who went through Joe's agency and met her husband. So that's how I got recommended to him.
Thanks for that. We didn't have that question, but that is how, for the most part, we find our ladies in our databases by word of mouth referrals. So somebody gets married and girlfriend and so on and so forth. Because one of the truths is, and I have a video I decided to do 2 years ago in the winter called The Ugly Truth, that Ukraine marriage agencies do not want you to know, and that is that you cannot advertise to find good girls in Ukraine. Just because everybody in Ukraine knows it's a systemically toxic industry. And so a good girl is not going to go to a marriage agency because she doesn't believe she's going to meet a good man, So how do you find good girls? It's not easy in Ukraine. You have to do it slowly. You have to be basically committed to having a database of good girls and cull it. You always have to be culling it and checking and verifying. So thanks for that, William. And actually, your lady just brought somebody else in to register.
Right. She actually had said, "Can you find me somebody like you, like William?"
But she changed her mind, right?
Right. She thought about it and didn't want to leave the country, which is an important question. That's what I asked him when on the dates. I asked him, "What do you really would leave the country for somebody?" And they all said yes. For their husband, somebody they loved, because of that. That's their dedication.
Yeah, of course, they have to answer yes to that question. Otherwise, we don't accept them into the database because most guys are not coming to live in Ukraine.
Although I've looked into it. And it's
What do you want to talk about that? You looked into moving to Ukraine?
I have.
You didn't tell me about that.
I was looking at houses and trying to find out what I can do for work over here. And then they actually got some nice houses for a good price.
Yeah, prices have about halved since the war started, since the Maidan massacre in 2014. So prices are down about half. I think they'll come back fairly close to full price after the war ends, whenever that's going to be. Do we want to talk about that? Yeah, I just want to comment that. So your lady's girlfriend was going to join us, and then because she wants to meet a good man, and why not a foreigner? But then she decided no, because she just want to leave the country. So you guys need to understand that there's actually a small percentage of Ukrainian women, let alone beautiful Ukrainian women, that are willing to leave their country. It's a very difficult. Can you imagine? It's everything you know, all your family, all your friends. What happens when their parents become sick? They really have to trust you,
all their stuff. They're basically putting all their whole life in a suitcase, going to another country,
leaving all their family, all their friends, their language, their culture behind, coming to basically Mars. America is like Mars to them, as is Disneyland, Disney World. So it is a scary thing, and on that point, every client, every foreign man needs to know that you really have to do everything to show her that she can trust you, because she's putting her whole life in your hands. So you need to talk about that and understand that is one of her biggest fears. So I signed up to Match Guarantee, added favorites. Great. Look forward to talking to you. Do we have dating evenings? Well, we have the Grand Ball event, but it's very tricky to have a social that good girls will want to come to. But we've reverse engineered by asking ladies, what kind of a social or an event would you like to come to? So we call it the Grand Ball because it's very classy. It's only a ratio of 3 ladies to every 1 man. Has to be tasteful. Otherwise, they don't want to come, good girls. But we do have the Grand Ball event. But most of our clients do individual matchmaking, because that's still always the highest marriage success rate is individual, old school. Boy invites girl out on a date, and you go on a date, cappuccino walk in the park, whatever. Okay. English levels. So we already talked about that. What do Ukrainians think about foreign men? What do Ukrainian men think about foreign men? They don't like us.
No.
They think we steal their beautiful women. They don't like us. Yeah. You'll feel it when you're here. But not all, but most. Let's see. Does it affect their behavior? Well, I don't suggest you go out getting drunk here, because when Ukrainian men drink, they get really alpha and aggressive. So,
yes.
Yeah, it could affect
I've seen that.
You've seen it? I've never seen it. 4 years, knock on wood. I've never seen any form of aggression. I'm just thinking I've never experienced or seen any form of aggression, but I'm not a bar hopper.
In fact, one of the things I asked,
Mhm.
I said, how is it not people not going to jail every night because the way these guys talk to each other, you know?
Mhm.
And I'm like, if you talk to somebody like that back home, they'd be hitting you upside the head. But it's, I don't know, it seems like normal the way they talk to each other here when they're drinking.
Mhm. One guy commented that he's seen you on an AFA tour or something, a foreign affair. You were never, no,
Never heard of it.
no, never even heard of it. So you must be mistaken. Another guy that looks like Richard Gere. So, guys, I think we're 45 minutes in. Any more questions? Otherwise, we're going to probably close it out. And everybody's thanking William. So you're getting lots of thank yous for, being so open about your experience. Okay, one question I did have. Could you walk guys through maybe like how did your client experience look like from the moment take us back in time from the moment you decided Ukrainian woman, I guess,
All right.
and why not American woman? Maybe just quickly. I mean, all us guys know why, but just quickly, why not American woman? American woman.
Ukrainian women are more family oriented, and
Mhm.
that's the
Big one.
yeah. That's
They're not more beautiful, right?
No, Ukrainian women are.
just being funny.
But
so you were looking for traditional,
right?
Mm-hmm.
So
barefoot and pregnant,
and cooking.
Of course, good. But that's a good point. Is your lady traditional? No. So I mean that is
she doesn't cook.
So funny. She doesn't cook. There you go, guys. Not every Ukrainian woman cooks, and it is a bit of a dying breed here. The traditional barefoot and pregnant lady. They are westernizing. But your lady's from Kiev,
right? No, well, she's been living here for a while.
How long's a while?
At least about 10 years.
Okay, so that's a long while. She's from Kharkov, which is another big city. So, I mean, if you want traditional, really, like barefoot and pregnant traditional, you probably have to go to the village or a small city like a Poltava, Vinnytsia, So, okay, so walk us through, what were you thinking? What were you feeling? Like, you've dated a lot back home. How are you feeling about the American dating experience? Why Ukraine? And then how did you come to a decision, and then like you just came here too very quickly? You're an action taker.
Well, it seemed like back home it's more playing games. Nobody's really serious about, that everybody has it's like they have one foot out the door, always looking for somebody better kind of thing.
Mm-hmm. Monkey branching. Hopping from the next, from you to the better guy that's a little richer, right, and a little whatever.
So then I figured I'd try something else, and then I came across to you guys. But if you want to know about the website, how it works.
Yeah. So as you came across us, and then maybe how was your client experience from the moment you decided, okay, maybe I'll check these guys out, these Match Guarantee guys I can't spell. Maybe we'll check them. How was that experience of the complimentary introduction package that you experienced, and how did that help you make your decision? Maybe a little bit on that.
Yeah, it was so you register on your website, and then you get an email. You pick up your Skype call with one of your person who works with you, and they go over everything, how it works. So they tell you to pick 20 ladies off your website, and you give it to them. You write it's about a page long about yourself, and you send that in. They proofread it, go through it, tell you what to change.
Your introductory letter to the ladies, yeah. Because guys, we gotta ask the ladies if they're interested in you, right? Some guys say, I don't want letter writing, but it's just an introduction to establish mutual interest, right?
And what they send the letter and your pictures to the ladies that you pick, and they either say yes or no. They want to meet you.
How many did you choose?
I chose 20.
20. And then
And,
how many yeses and nos did you get?
I think I got 11 yeses.
So you got turned down almost, you only had about a 55%, 55% success rate. Richard Gere only had a 55% success rate. That is honestly, and I told you this when I met you, right? I am surprised by that. And you know, what I like, guys, and this is a litmus test. If you're looking to put any other agency through the ringer and test them, which you should, always be careful and discerning in Ukraine. You know, I mean, even this handsome, available guy, 40, you're 42? 40?
Right.
42. Yeah, 42, never married, no kids. I mean, he's the ideal bachelor. I mean, you're, you know, didn't just fall off the turnip truck. You have a good, you know, good job, you know, and you had a 45% rejection rate. That tells you these are real women, you know, because let's just say some other places out there, he wouldn't be getting turned down at all. So, you know, we've had anywhere from 0% acceptance to 100% acceptance or rejection, you know. Like I've had guys do the free test drive, choose 10 ladies, and get 0. Goose egg that want to meet with him. That's a guy that's very unrealistic. He's looking for a 20+ year age gap, and maybe he doesn't look so good either. So it's a big tip for you guys. Okay, cool.
That is a big tip. I'll just say, because since while we're here, we have noticed those, you talk about the, you know, 60-year-old guy with a 20-year-old girl, and you can just look at him and tell that she's just buy me this, buy me that, and he's just looks lost. So
lost puppy dog. Yeah, I mean, there was a guy just day before yesterday that insisted on meeting me in person. He's been scammed a lot. He's, I'm not going to say too much other than he's a 60-year-old American cardiologist, surgeon. So, and he is insisting. So I met him face to face, which I usually don't do unless you do your, you know, go through our process. He's insisting on a girl that's 25 to 30. And I just looked at him and I said, listen, I cannot help you. I can't take you as a client. I can't accept your money because we only take clients that we really see in our head, heart, and gut that we can help you be successful with our sincere ladies. Otherwise, it doesn't serve either of us, right? So, okay, cool. So you did the incident.
So back to that, we got this Skype call with, I think it was Daria. She was my, I guess you would say, liaison.
Your coach, yep.
And after we did the introductory letters and then got everything settled and who I wanted to meet, and then you know, you pay the deposit, the refundable deposit, $1,000. And then after that, all you do is book your trip, and you let them know when you're coming. And then when it gets about a week out, that's when you start hearing back from the girls. Then you start going back, a couple back and forth emails about, you know, get to know each other a little bit, and you get your Skype call. So
and that was all free before you paid your deposit, right? Yeah. So how did you feel in that complimentary introduction process? What was that feeling experientially like?
It was really comfortable because I'm really bad about writing about myself. And so Daria really helped me out a lot with that. Told me what to write. And
very important, guys, because you only have one chance to make a first impression. Right? And Western guys, we write the wrong stuff a lot. We talk too much. And so that's important to present yourself in the best light. Cool. Thanks for that. And then your Skype call, we already talked about your complimentary Skype call. And then how did you feel about your decision? Like, how did you know you wanted to, you know, become a client? You did the complimentary package. You're not out of pocket anything. Did you meet some ladies that you like? How did you make your final decision?
After I went through all that, it was I felt pretty confident that I was going to be successful, I guess you would say. So you know, I booked my trip, and you met me at the airport. Driver.
You paid your deposit,
right?
And it's fully refundable till you come here and meet with Tatiana and the staff. Okay, we met you at the airport.
You met me at the airport. We got to the hotel I was staying at. Checked me in. He showed me around where to buy flowers, which important, buy flowers every day, every date.
You got them at the door right now.
They like flowers.
Yeah,
really,
don't stop buying the flowers.
Really like flowers. Really, I can't express that enough. Really like flowers.
Yeah.
So we went to your office, paid the rest of the fee, and then we went over the girls and the times.
You met Tatiana.
And she had pretty much a schedule of times and who. So I had a couple of hours. I went and took a shower, and I went out that night. I arrived. That's when I met my girl. And the other dates, if they let you know ahead of time if you need a translator, and so that was already set up. And as far as places to go, everything is within 5 minutes of walking from your office, which is where you meet the girls. You meet in the office, and it's good to have an idea where you want to go before you meet them.
Yeah, very important, right? Just to set the place.
It's pretty important, but they're also understanding that you're not from there, so they give you a little bit of leeway on that one. But there's so many restaurants within walking distance. Cafes, there's a good French restaurant everybody seems to like. There's a good Italian place right across the street from it. So throughout the week, you're meeting the girls, going on dates, and then there's a Tatiana calls them. She calls them and asks them what their thoughts were on how you dress, how things went.
Yeah. Did you like William?
Right.
Yeah. What do you think of William? Or just in a subtle Ukrainian woman to woman way, because they don't like meddling. Actually, ladies don't like other ladies meddling, but. Yeah, we always try to touch base with both the man client and the lady client.
And Joe would always call me in the morning while I'm still asleep. Hey, man, how's it going? How did your date go?
I'm jet lagged. What are you doing calling me at?
And so that's how the week progressed. And I guess when it was time to go, Tony met me at the hotel. Took me to the airport. And then I headed home.
Yeah, you were on a pretty quick tour. It was 7 days, 6 dates, 7 days. You were doing 2 dates per day.
Yeah.
Let's talk about that. Do you suggest 2 dates per day or 1 date per day? What do you recommend? Maybe in your recommendations to guys on this journey.
I would really, of course, recommend 1 because in the case of the one after the one who didn't speak English, after the translator left, I said, hey, you want to go? It's kind of early. You want to go somewhere else. So you want to, if you meet somebody earlier in the afternoon, you don't have that opportunity because you got to meet somebody else. So I would recommend one a day. So is
it overwhelming 2 a day?
It can be.
And you might have to ditch one to go to the other too. Did that ever happen to you?
That didn't happen, but the one that saw me with the other one.
That happened. Yeah, busted. But that's the hard part. If you got to ditch on 1 date, especially if you really like her, you got to ditch her and go to one that you meet and you go, oh, what did I do? And you can get busted. And then it's difficult too. So you recommend 1, yeah?
Recommend 1.
Come for a longer time? You recommend 2 weeks?
At least 2 weeks.
I concur. I mean, there's no time clock on love, right, guys? Guys ask me, how long should I come? You should come as long as you possibly can. I have a client coming soon from Australia for a whole month. That's, of course, much preferred. You can take it slow and date her a lot. I have a guy commenting once again, listen, I do apologize if we have missed any coaching calls as of late. We had a lot of chaotic experiences over the holiday period. We had a flood of clients, and then we had some staff get sick. So I do apologize to you guys if we missed your coaching call. That rarely happens. It really rarely happens. Another thing is we got an affiliate, came on board a month ago, and we got a flood of clients. This affiliate has a large website. It gets a lot of traffic, and they had been referring to, let's just say, other sites. and they believe in us, so they started referring to us. So we got a flood. So I apologize to you guys. Please get back in touch with us either on our Skype channel, which is just match space guarantee spelled with Y, or email us at info@matchguarantee.com. We do apologize, and we're happy to talk to you. We are the personal touch agency, so it's very important to us that we actually talk to you. We want to understand what you want, and we promise to be completely, transparent and tell you straight up if we feel we can help you or not. So there's one guy here. He wants acknowledgement that we will get in touch with him. He was on the Black Friday deal. We will, and you will get your 3 free Skype calls, which was our Black Friday deal. So we will get in touch with you. But please, again, email us at info@matchguarantee.com, because after this live stops, this live chat disappears. And so unless I remember exactly you and your email address, so please email us. So
what is the age difference?
Yeah.
She's
your age and your lady's age.
6 years. She's 36.
6 years age difference, right?
Right.
So that's rare, guys. I mean, most guys are, wanting to push, but we have our zone of success is 10 to 15 years age difference. And that's pretty universal in this space amongst honest agencies. Simply because if you look at the marriages that result, they're typically in that, maximum 15-year age gap. Doesn't mean it can't happen. You can't push the envelope, but it depends on you, what you look like, and overall how you are as a man, what qualities and how charming you are and charismatic you are. So, I mean, it's just, the more you push the age gap, the riskier that relationship is of making it to fruition, right? To walking her down the aisle. But anything is possible, just maybe not probable. So your age gap at 6 years is fantastic. Somebody's commenting, perfect. Dawn. Okay, guys are chatting back and forth with each other. So what's your plans for the future? How are you gonna bring it home, seal the deal?
I don't really have a definite plan. We're just trying to plan as we go along.
Mm-hmm.
I guess trying to get her to come visit me is the next challenge. I understand it's not very easy, but
yeah. Thanks to Trump, yeah, he's made that difficult for lady visitor visas. So that is difficult. So you're not in a per se a hurry. Yeah,
no,
you're not in a rush. This guy is so wise, and he offered to come on with a live client Q&A. I said, man, awesome. I do thank you so much, William. I mean, it's really awesome that you offered to come on and answer guys' questions and share your experience.
Yeah, happy to do it.
I hope you guys got a lot of very valuable sage advice from William, because really, this guy is amazing. He just decided on Ukraine. He did his homework. He came. He was a man of action. Men of action always get the girl. You got to get offline, come to Ukraine one way or another. So, and then, he's just going about everything in the wisest way I've seen, I would say, to date. As wise as I've seen any client to date. You're taking your time.
It's difficult, though. I got to say, it's, being apart.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, we're on contact on Viber. I mean, it's an all day from morning when I wake up.
Mm-hmm.
To till she goes to sleep, but it's I gotta tell you, it's not easy keeping things going, as I say, because you're so far apart. And the one of the most important things is coming back and deciding when to come back. You don't want to be too long, because it's natural. You just lose interest. You don't see each other. You just lose interest, and that's definitely one of my concerns. That's one of the reasons I came back after only 5 weeks, because I was really want to keep it, I won't say fresh, but
keep the spark.
Keep it going. I don't want to be forgot about, because I want to. I'm sure she's probably over here getting asked out, that kind of thing. So yeah, coming back is I think a really important thing.
It is. It really is. You know, you got to come back and water the flower. But you know, it's a great actual question. How do you keep the flame alive? So you guys communicate every day, many times in the
All
day,
day.
all day.
It's like it's just like text messaging.
Mm-hmm.
And luckily, she can do it at work, so
Mhm.
we can, and I can too.
It's tough with the time difference too, right?
Yeah, because when I wake up at 5 in the morning. It's already 2 in the afternoon here,
Mm-hmm.
and then she's going to bed. I'm like, oh, it's only 5 o'clock. I still want to talk to you some more. But yeah,
Mm-hmm.
and something else I would recommend. As far as getting here, there's a lot of those cheap discount flights and all that. And I
Mm-hmm.
mean, I think a average price for coming here for a flight from Florida is about $1,000 round trip. But you'll find some that are cheaper. And this one, I think it was 700, but it didn't include anything, so I had to pay to check a bag. I had to pay for my seats, and I had in London, I had to get my bags, go to a different airline, go through customs, go through security, go through all that mess, and by the time it was over with, it would have just cost the 1,100. But when I could have just gave my bag at the desk in Orlando, and
Mm-hmm.
it would be here in Kiev.
Mm-hmm.
So that's what I would recommend. You don't necessarily go through those discount websites because it's more of a hassle, and you're going to end up paying the same amount anyways.
Mm-hmm.
I think Delta and United are the two cheapest that I found, and they have the best service coming here.
Airlines have really started to do that. Yeah, nickel and dime you to death. So a couple of loaded gun questions coming in, which I want to address because no taboo questions. One is our marriage success rate. And the other question is like, when should we come? So I love this question when guys ask, when should we come? I always ask guys back a question. How important is this life goal to you? You know, coming, you know, like finding your future half, getting married, and, you know, really living life large. How important a goal is that to you? And guys almost always answer me back to that question. It's my number one goal. I mean, that's why they're paying us our fee, because they feel that they're going to get a result, as they say in Ukraine. They're going to be successful quickly, which most of our clients are successful quickly. So why let a little cold and snow in January and February hold you back from realizing your most important life goal? That's my question back to you. So I think now is the best time, The Power of Now. One of my favorite books, favorite authors.
That's something I worried about also, because you know, I read about the winters here are nasty, and being from Florida, it's exact opposite. But it's not as bad. I got a warm jacket and gloves, and it's no big deal.
Yeah, I mean,
It snowed
if it's
a couple
cold
times
for anyone, a Floridian, yeah, exactly. I mean, when you came 5 weeks ago, it was like 80 something.
Yeah, that's
In
what it is
England,
this week.
and it's unseasonably warm here, so you got off a little bit light with that. So, okay, the granddaddy of questions. It's the question that separates the men from the boys in this industry. It's not easy to track. It's not easy to be honest about it. There's a lot of skullduggery around this question. What is your marriage success rate? Or your success rate, as a lot of agencies will quote and give a very high number. Our success rate is off the charts. It is very, very high. I say 80% when I define success as follow, because it all depends how you define it, right? I mean, statistics is a license to lie. You'll learn that in stats if you take advanced statistics, and it truly is. But our success rate, meaning men that leave in a relationship that they're happy with, you know, they've made a special connection and they're in a relationship, is well above 80%. But I always say 80% just to be safe. As was William, as was the last client that was here, American dentist, and he met his lady.
I like that. It's a money question.
Okay.
I think that's a good question good topic to discuss.
Okay, why don't you go ahead and let me just finish this off, and you can maybe. So but really, is starting a relationship a fair definition of success? Well, probably not, right? Because it's not about starting; it's about finishing. Did you get married? And then does the marriage withstand the test of time? Right? Very hard to track, honestly, because most clients forget about us after they get married, and we have to dig and call and. So our stats for the past year is married and or engaged and or basically very in a long-term relationship and very close, because we keep in personal touch with all our clients, very close to engagement is 13 of those. Okay, so that's how I define it. I just want to clarify the definition, and that is just a hair above 40% of clients. Okay. I want to address that Tatiana took a lie detector test to defend, if you will, our marriage success rate, which was really her marriage success rate under the old agency before we formed Match Guarantee. And she declared on that lie detector test 70%. So that was her belief from her, just basically her, a wild ass guess, if you will. That was just her intuitive guess of what was the marriage success rate before I met her. I want to explain the difference. The difference was she had mostly German clients or European clients before we formed Match Guarantee. And German men are a different type than American men. I've learned this directly. They come and they get it done. They're like a William here. They come, they choose their lady, and they focus on her, and they propose, and they get married. And German men are a lot closer to a Ukrainian man. They're quiet. They listen more than they speak. We, in our culture, we talk way too much more than we listen, and that's not good here. Ukrainian women don't like that. So basically what I'm saying is German men have a much higher marriage success rate, and generally European men than us Americans. So that's what we've seen. Still a very good marriage success rate, and our goal is for that to continue to climb. So hope that answers that question for you guys. And what was the other question?
I want to. I see some of the people throwing out numbers on costs.
Mm-hmm.
So let me go over that more detail.
Okay.
So people are saying 20, 25,000. No. The main cost, I say, is Joe's fee, and then if you look at it long term, all this money isn't. It's not like you're writing a check for whatever amount right away. It's over time. So the flights, I got to come back and see her. It's $1,000 for the plane ticket. But once that's really the main expense, we got an Airbnb for 5 days. That was $290. It was like efficiency apartment up in Kharkiv. And so you want a K1 visa. I looked into that. That's going to run about $2,000. So plan on that. And flight back. For some reason, flights from here are cheaper than to here. So a flight from Kiev is about $600. So you figure on how many times you come back here is $1,000. Going out on dates is nothing. I mean, two people can go out to eat for $20, $25 at a really fine restaurant. It's shocking, actually. I don't know how they make money, but the hotel when you stay here, I'm staying with her. So, and hopefully when you meet somebody you're coming back to see, that's the same situation. I wouldn't think she would make you stay in a hotel if you're dating her and you came just to see her. So figure those expenses up, and but it's the one thing that scares people. They see this big number, and but it's not all at once. Even the K1 visa is it's $500 here, and then 3 months later it's another $200 or that kind of situation. It's not you're not writing a big check all at once. Otherwise, I wouldn't have came myself. But so that's I wanted to clear that up some.
This is the question about, like, basically the question is the overall cost, like basically at the end of the day, what are you going to be out of pocket?
Right, and that's what
to get to marriage.
Everybody hears all these numbers, and so I wanted to clear that as much as I can. So
so what do you think all in at the end of the day? Have you done the math? Or you just have such a disposable income you didn't need to do the math? I don't know.
Do you have food stamps here? Because I'm. I think I'm in it maybe 11,000 in that area. But once you get things,
that's including our fee.
That's including your fee.
Hotel, your flights, and 2 trips. Okay.
And this trip with her, it's I think I brought $500 to spend, and I've only spent about 200 of that so far, and I've been here since December 31st. Is when I got here at midnight, or December 30th. So once you establish a relationship, it's not like you're $1,000 a week. You know, I hear some guys every time I go there, it's $3,000 or $5,000. And even before I left, I'm like, I don't see it, because I was trying to figure out my expenses before I left, and I was like, I don't see where they're spending this, because the flight's only $1,000. Where are you spending the other $2,000 at? Unless you're going to like buying Gucci's and Prada purses. And
Don is commenting that he thinks it's more like in the $50,000 to $60,000 range all in. There's numbers all over the map, and I think you have a guy here that's successful. Again, successful. We will see, but I mean, you feel really good about your relationship, right?
Yeah.
Do you?
Do
you feel like she's the one?
She's looking for jobs back in the States.
Do you feel like she's the one?
Yeah. I told her that too.
You told her that? Yeah. I mean, I felt that from you, and we will see, right, guys? But if you are successful with this lady, then you're 11,000 already for 2 trips. So you can see, guys, it's not very expensive. You can get a flight here for under 1,000. You can live here fairly economically. It's not really that expensive. A K1, you're looking at about 1,000. A very expensive lawyer. The guy we recommend is $1,200.
I've seen 2,000.
Yeah, I've seen 2,000. So throw another 2,000 for a few more trips. You could see you're getting to 15, 20,000.
I would say 15 is a good
15.
Good number.
I think guys should budget. Yeah.
But see, you throw that number out there, and people think that's all at once. And people are, I don't have that much money. I can't do it. But it's over time. It's over time.
Yeah, it's over about a year.
Yeah.
Period. So, you can amortize that. But honestly, guys, the big expense, the big numbers that I see from our clients is when they did it wrong before they met us. That's the real expensive part. I was just sitting, we have such a backlog of videos in the edit room. In our YouTube office, there was a guy I interviewed. He was good enough to go on camera. He's out of pocket $15,000 from one lady he met from a PPL site. Came, spent 2 trips with her, and she just, milked him. So he says on videos he's out of pocket $15,000 and 8 months on her. But the real damage with this particular guy, and he'll be on YouTube, his name is Jim. He'll be on YouTube with these videos, which are very helpful for us guys. Any guy that lays his heart out there and does an interview with me and shares his experience, it helps all you guys out there, because you see, hopefully what doesn't work, right? You learn from experiences of others. That's the whole idea of the YouTube channel, that we can be successful together. Anyway, what's the unfortunate thing with Jim is that I see his confidence is just, and he's a really good guy, strong man, financially set, not like rich or anything like that, but just he's good, he looks good, he keeps himself in shape, he should be confident, but because of his experiences, his confidence level is down, and he's super sensitive, hypersensitive, I would say, and that's going to hurt him as well. So broken heart, broken wallet before you meet us. That's what I see as the expensive thing.
If I can add something to that,
of course.
I'm not sure where if my girl told me, or one of the other dates I went on, she knows somebody, and she makes $200,000 a year from those paper letter websites. Guys, one guy bought her a car.
You met her?
No, I met somebody that knows her. She's like, I have a friend who's made $200,000 a year.
Wow.
People give her money and buy her stuff. She said one guy bought her a car, and she doesn't do anything. They just give her money.
This is a Ukrainian lady that you know, and her friend.
Right. Her friend, the one that
was it one of our ladies?
No.
Her friend?
No.
Okay. That's funny, coincidental number, because Coach Maria and I did a video, and it's going to be coming on YouTube sometime. It's a edit backlog too. But she has a friend that is a professional scammer, and she made $200,000 over the last year or two. I can't remember exactly. So interesting comparison. Somebody's commenting that you're out of pocket 11 grand and you haven't been back yet. No, this is his second trip.
Right.
Second trip, guys. So you're thinking 15 grand. So
that's what I'm thinking. I mean,
yeah, you have to have a budget for it.
It also depends on how much you come over here and how long you stay. This is just my situation.
Yeah. Somebody's commenting 20 grand. I would agree 20 grand is a good budgetary number, guys, out there, if you're trying to do a budget for finding, your good wife in Ukraine. I think 20K is a good number.
But I would split that up.
Yeah, the secret is finding a good one, Don says. I completely concur with you, Don. That is the magic point. Yeah. And, on that note, how to find a good lady. I always say to guys, you have to be smart about it. Trust your gut. You're not 17 anymore. You've been in love. You've experienced the butterflies and beyond that, Trust your gut that you will know when you meet her. So if you just do that, you can't go wrong. But you got to come here and meet ladies. Okay. I think we're ready to close out. We have some giggling in the background from the peanut gallery here. So any final words of wisdom, William, to guys before we let this long broadcast? Wow, an hour and 20 minutes. That's our longest.
That's why she's texting me. Where are you at?
Late for a date. Don't be late for your dates. Any final?
I think we've covered a lot of it.
Yeah.
Don't be late for your date and buy flowers.
Thanks, guys. Thanks again, William. You've been a trooper.
Anytime.
I wish you all the best. I have a very good intuitive feeling that you're going to bring it home with this lady. And you said I'm invited to the wedding, right?
Right.
Okay. I'll hold you to that. Thanks, William. Thanks, guys. Hey, you can take us for a free test drive. So why not? You have everything to gain and nothing to lose. We're willing to show you what us and our ladies are made of. So matchguaranteed.com/register. You can choose 10 ladies from our website, have 2 emails back and forth with them, and have a Skype video call, including a translator. And that's your initial thing to check us out. So good luck, guys. Happy New Year again. All the best in 2020. Bye-bye.